This is trying to park in the Muslim quarter. Stupid. We're turning around. No, we're just gonna turn around.
Yes.
No, no.
Yes, parking.
No, I'm going out.
Dapat tayo.
I'm going out. Yes. I'm going out there. I'm going out. No, no, I'm going out. Okay, so we're trying to walk to the Garden Tomb. We had to park. We parked up by the British consulate up there in a pretty nice parking lot, and as soon as we crossed that street up there, it said a sign to the Garden Tomb. So this is in the Muslim quarter. It's Shemini Atzeret, and everybody's doing business as usual. So we'll see. Okay, so we're still walking to the Garden Tomb. Do you see it right there by the cop car? There it is. And we know we're in the Muslim district because it's dirty, and just tons of groups of boys and lots of ladies with completely covered up, and it just feels evil all around. So we're going to enter the Garden Tomb here, and you can see the wall down, way down there. Anyway, let's see what this looks like. Alright, this is the entrance to the Garden Tomb, I guess. Interesting that it's, I don't know, that it's in the Muslim section. What? Alright, let's see what it says. Good, I'm following. Where I'll go.
So your group today wanted to come here, huh?
Yes, just for 5 days. Yesterday the temple was in Jericho. Today we did the Pope churches. Essentially, but then most of
So they're Catholic too?
that is Protestant.
Oh, okay, okay. Yes.
How many?
Right.
Information.
Right.
Let's go counterclockwise.
Okay.
So we end up there.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
A lot of medical.
So it's free to get in here. They have donation boxes throughout the garden, I guess. But there's a lot of people here. What? Oh, they do? Skull Hill. Definitely a lot of people today.
Where's the girl? Wait, we don't.
She's down.
Sure, let's make a
I think I just went down
Guess there's a few people.
Oh, here, let's look at the map real quick.
Okay.
You got the layout.
Yeah.
We came in here. We walked across here. So the tomb was right to our left when we came in.
Go out of the sun, will you?
So we start here at the viewpoint where you can see the skull. And then we'll walk around to some of the evidence of what this place was.
Okay.
That it was a wine press and a cistern, etc.
Okay.
And then we'll go on to the tomb.
Okay.
But somewhere along the perimeter of this thing, there's a place where they showed the socket,
Right.
and it was down low, right next to a building,
But-
up against the what they call it, escarpment.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really like featured.
Right. It's not featured
So
here.
at least it wasn't. So you have to keep an eye out for that.
Okay.
Go across.
I thought that was Skull Rock.
Well, no, that's just to identify this location, the place of the skull.
Okay.
So you go up here,
So
you
we'll
can
go
view
here.
that.
So we're gonna go see the skull.
So
I don't see it.
it's very much depends on the light,
Does
and
it?
it's also eroded a ton over the years.
I still can't see
I
it.
think maybe the
Look at it. There's the skull, and right below the skull is the Garvin Family. Recycling for a lot of things. Like I don't know what it is. Trash. Oh. And then a parking lot right go back down. See.
What's that?
I don't know. Let's go see it. They're praying up there.
Chega, cara, lá.
Seja sendo através de compras, seja através de ofertas, não ficará sem o retorno potencial. Na nossa vida familiar, na nossa saúde, na nossa vida financeira, na nossa vida
pilgrims. Wow.
So is
long
that
line.
the two?
Yep. Okay, anybody want to go?
Deixa aí, volta. Vai um pé, volta.
É 5 horas.
Let's go in together. Okay.
There's probably no light in there.
There's a window.
There's a window. Okay, girls, go. Go, go, go.
Some of the things that identify this one, they come in and then turn to the right. This right turn is mentioned,
In the
looking
Bible?
to the right.
Oh, really?
And most of them aren't laid out in this configuration. And so that identifies it.
Okay.
And then the fact that it was lengthened down there, it was like dug out to fit a slightly taller person. The fact that it's new, that those two ordinarily had not been used somehow or another, I'm not sure how. But there's a lot of things that make this one unique. Also the size of it.
Yeah. So that's where you should look. So it's kind of uneven, so it's not a full, you know, so it's a square and then the cutout on these, it's kind of, I guess I don't understand how,
3 places.
for 3 people? Oh, okay. Looks like there was something to divide with the line. It's cut out. Okay. But so this one was lengthened, is that? This one is lengthened?
Yeah.
Okay. So did they lay them like flat? It looks kind of short. Or maybe it's not if you lay it down. Wow. Just think, right here where the shoe was laid. Yeah. Don't cry then. He only used it for the weekend. He didn't need it for very long, did he? But he didn't stay here, that's the point. That's the point.
Okay.
Okay. I'll go with
Mary.
The pin.
Some of the clues I was thinking of that they used is where they say this
is a likely candidate for being the actual one is that pin, iron pin
Right.
that's sheared off. It's referred to not as a normal stone, but as a large tombstone,
Okay.
or a large stone. And so they need a site that has an extra large stone. Most of them would be small,
Like
like
that
the
one
sample.
over there.
So the track here shows that it was much, much larger. The height of the pin here shows, you can see it would be much, the height of the door, that would have been a much larger stone. So this is definitely a large stone. This one. Things that make this one unique is the layout. I guess Mark 16:5 indicates that the burial spot would have been on the right side of the tomb, which this one is, which is a unique layout. Usually it's, well, they list some of the clues in here as to why this is the most likely, a likely location. And one, it's a garden tomb. There's a sign, there's a wine press and a huge cistern that shows that this was a garden here. Was it Matthew indicates that it was a large tomb, not a normal. So a normal sized tomb would have a stone like the one they have brought in over here.
Okay.
But the size of the track shows a much larger stone. The height of the pin that sealed it, right up here, that was sheared off. The height of the door would have been a stone 10 or 11 feet tall.
Right.
The fact that you go in and you turn to the right is indicated in Mark 16. And then John indicates that the burial spot where he was laid would have been visible from outside of the tomb.
Oh,
Like one of the disciples looked in from the outside
oh, you could see it like right
to
here.
see.
Yeah.
And so the way it's laid out, instead of being around the corner
Right.
to the right or
Right.
the spot you can see
You can
from
see
out
right
here.
in. Right.
Yeah, so there's some other indicators that make this location so likely. And it's within just a couple hundred yards of the skull.
Golgotha, where he was crucified.
Yeah.
Okay, so we asked the gardener here where that place was where they were crucified, and we basically just showed him a picture of what Michael Rube was, where he was teaching about it.
Nice. Here the man. Where's the picture? And set like this boarding. Yeah. Here.
Ah, that's where he was teaching.
Oh, thank you, friend.
Where's the thing in there? Ask him where the circle is.
Where are the niches that were?
Like this, no, like this.
This is the gardener.
Okay.
Ah.
Not
That's the niches with where the sign was. Where it said the King of the Jews.
yes. Here sit the people. Here broken. Here sit. Sit.
Sit?
Okay.
era eso?
You sit?
¿Qué era?
Queda.
¿Qué era?
Here down hole. Down.
Sentarse.
Oh, that's the
Sit,
bottom.
sit.
The bottom.
Sentarse.
Where the cross sat. The bottom.
I don't know.
Ah. Let's see that. This is the gardener.
Yeah, welcome. Hallelujah.
Crucifixion site. You can see this deck's been built 3 feet up off the ground. So put this niche about 7 feet off the ground.
Oh, Oregon.
Definitely man-made.
Some more?
This is the place.
Where they crucified him. So then this would be like the
Yes, yes,
stone
yes.
at the bottom.
Bravo.
Bottom.
Yeah, and down
Yes.
under the floor.
Yes, under the floor. Yeah.
Oh, so
Here.
There's the crack.
Yeah.
Shalom. Shalom.
would the crack would be lower. It wouldn't be this high. The crack would be lower.
Yeah.
So there's a crack in the ground.
Yes.
So why did they cover this up?
The manager speak close.
Thank you.
The manager.
The
garden.
manager. Why?
From the garden.
Why?
Close.
Because in the video,
But,
you can see more in the video.
Well, the deck was
Yeah.
in the video.
The deck was in the
also.
video?
Yes.
Oh, where's the, is there a
Here.
circle? Okay,
This here.
right,
Hey, here. Sit.
yes.
Hey, this here. Here.
Oh, the,
Like this.
Yeah.
Here.
And he's speaking the truth. I actually got to meet the man sitting across the table.
this is the bottom of the, he was saying the bottom of the cross. There was a ledge, the bottom one. So you have the cross
But
there?
actually,
Yes.
it's down there.
It's down there.
It's underneath
Down,
here.
much down.
Oh.
Big hole.
Right,
This
right,
would have
right.
been up
Yeah.
high,
You saw it.
like above
Yeah,
eye.
very good.
It would have been
Right.
this high, like 6 feet above
Much
eye.
came out much
Above eye level.
Very good.
It would have been up
Right.
this high, above, like 6 feet above you, not below your eye level.
20 feet down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like this. Please.
So why did they cover this up?
This the stone down. Like this the stone. Come. Like this. Like this. Like this. Down. Much.
Some of the stone, sometimes they had a portable
5 meters.
stone.
Much.
Oh.
Sometimes they chisel a hole in the rock and it had a plug in it.
Oh.
They have some plugs.
Okay.
Sometimes they had a portable stone.
Oh, that they could move around if they needed.
Like this.
Uh-huh.
Here.
And then just dig.
Down.
Dig.
The whole stone, big stone.
Yeah.
Like this down.
Yeah.
This.
Right.
Yeah.
And put it there so they can
Yes.
use it. And what is this?
This hole, much down. He come the stone, big stone decoration, like this.
I'll bring it up.
Oh.
Yeah.
But so then that would be
Here,
right.
down,
Okay.
like this.
Mhm.
Like this, much.
Yeah, the stone.
The stone down.
But why did they cover it up?
No problem.
But what happened was,
The layout.
Why did they cover?
what happened?
I'm videoing you just so I can show my friends if that's okay.
What happened? he was recovering from burnt feet coming back on the dig down at the
Ron Wyatt?
crossing. Yeah, Ron Wyatt was. And he was with Dan Bahat. Dan Bahat was the head of the archaeological over all of Israel. And I think they were actually walking on the walls in Jerusalem. And he said Ron Wyatt he pointed by the Spirit on his left hand, and he said that it was just, I guess there was garbage over here at the time.
Really?
But he pointed over here and he said that is Jeremiah's grotto.
Right.
Dan Bahat got so happy. He said, we'll pay for this, we'll pay for that, pay for this. And he said, well, I can't do it now because I have to go back to the United States. So he goes back to the United States, starts researching to find out why would this be Jeremiah's grotto out here. And he found that there was a siege wall that had been built, and I guess it was out here further. But he realized it was possible that it could have been put under here. And the reason why, because the Babylonians were coming in to take over Israel, and God had him hide it away in the cave.
Right.
Well, to understand what really was going on, God showed through Moses what was in heaven, and he showed him to bring it into the earth.
Right.
And so through Bezalel, all this stuff was built. And it says our prayer that we pray in the Lord's Prayer as in heaven, so on earth. This was God's desire, because he knew that we were slaves to sin. We were slaves to the slave owner at the time, and the slave owner had been, ownership had been given over to the devil. Well, when he actually was crucified, it was the innocent lamb, the lamb, the God that takes away the sin of the world. Well, it says that he took his blood into the heavenly holy of holies, but also as in earth, because it says there's three witnesses in the earth. The blood, the water, and the Spirit. So the blood and the water came out of the side of Jesus. At the time of the crucifixion, there was a great earthquake, and the rocks were rent. And of course, you can see, if you go back there, you can see where they filled it in. But I can't, I saw it before it got filled in, and they literally filled in the cracks that came down through here.
Why did they do that?
Because...
Why did they want to cover that up?
For one of the things is they don't want the Arabs to be all upset that there's something here. But, they don't want to cause great friction.
But how would that give friction? This is a garden tomb. It's
I know.
It's in this.
I know.
I think
they
that's
don't
a
want
cover-up.
people to know.
I think that's Hasatan, not wanting people to know what really happened.
They don't want it. Yeah.
So then you yourself saw.
I saw it before they filled it in, and you can see it on the other side where they did fill it in. But the crack comes down here, and the crack came down, and it was right at the base of the cross. And so then, after Jesus had died, Spirit, out came blood and water, poured down, and it dropped onto the mercy seat.
Right. Exactly. So then, you've been to Zedekiah's ton or caves or whatever, and in there and everything.
I know essentially
where it is,
how to get in.
So that's two things we wanted to do today was come here and see this, and go to his tunnel, kind of just see. We don't want to obviously try to find it, but because you actually saw Ron Wyatt and met him. Yeah. What was your name?
Robert. It was 30 years ago.
Really? Wow.
And so I was just sitting across the table. I was a proud young kid, and I talked to him for a while, and then I realized how stupid I am, because when you're in the presence of somebody who's humble, then your pride gets really shown for what it is. And so I was pretty...
So this, so it's underneath us.
This is the Ark of the Covenant. This is
where the Ark of the Covenant is.
It says in Jeremiah, it says Jerusalem would be known as the throne of God in the earth.
Right.
It's here.
And it's right here, under this, right here.
My. And apparently the cave is cleaned up. Even the Ten Commandments have been taken out of the Ark, put up on the side.
Right.
There's a rainbow.
Right.
Over the back of the Ark, and there's even a There's even a film that won't be shown until the
Right.
mark of the beast.
Yeah.
So a few minutes and we'll be a group coming in
Okay.
here, okay?
Yeah. We are almost.
Yeah. Yep. And see all that stuff that's been filled in?
That's where the crack was.
See, yeah, I mean, you can see that they've actually packed it in.
Oh wow.
But they covered it up. You know, I mean, when they first did it, it was so funny because it was so obvious that they had filled it in.
Well, yeah,
But
look
now
at this.
it's gotten pretty good.
So it's meant to block it off, but do you think that, like, the structure is here to block it off, but do you think that that's Papa? That's Yahovah doing that, or do you think that's just man doing something that shouldn't be? Man.
Well, here's what happened. You know, they have this particular in case they need to pull it out again.
Oh.
In case they wanted to do it.
Okay.
So it's a temporary thing. It's a temporary wood and everything down underneath. He was ordered. He had to put everything back.
Oh, really?
So that so they just all the stuff they pulled out. They went down. They documented everything, and then they had to throw everything back.
So he found the ark from right here.
They actually, yes, they busted into the boys got really frustrated because, you know, here he is by the Spirit saying that there's a grotto here, but they couldn't find it. All they found as they went down, they found the evidence of the cross, 3 crosses there, the plugs that were in the holes, and the evidence that there was cutouts here that this probably were. And so that's all they found, and so they're getting really frustrated. They can't find anything more, and so finally the boys took sledgehammer, started beating into the wall, and they broke into a cave system in there. And so they went around for 2 years trying to find this thing. Finally, the boys have pneumonia, so they have to return. And he was with a young Arab boy, and the Arab boy had slipped into this place. He just starts yelling, screaming, freaking out. Comes out, squeezing out through this hole, and he got out of there. He left the country, could never get back in the country. But Ron, he sees what's just happened. It's like, what's in there? So he crawls in there, and he collapses from having double pneumonia. When he wakes up, he realizes he sees all the, you know, you can imagine badger skins that have been rotted for thousands of years now. And so it's just all collapsed, rotted, and all the different stuff. But he sees there's an encasement that was around the ark. It had been broken open. He saw the crack over it and the dark substance, and he realized what had happened.
Wow.
And anyway, he was even allowed to type the
I know.
Right,
I tell people that and they don't believe me.
Hey, you know, the thing is,
They don't believe me.
if you understand what God was doing and what was required,
Right.
it all makes sense.
Right.
Because
Right.
you have to have it. I
Right.
mean, as in heaven, he was getting it in this earth, and absolutely God did it.
Right.
You know, no other way.
Right.
There's no other way. I mean, it totally makes sense, and why people don't understand it. They don't. I guess they don't understand the covenant. They
Right.
don't understand the blood. They
Right.
don't understand what God was doing.
Right.
The reason we have the freedom and the spirit that we have is because the blood's down
Right.
on
the
that.
ark, it was supposed to
Right,
anoint
the
the
blood and
ark.
water
I
are
know.
there, and that's what made it so that we can have the spirit,
it's-
because it's
Well, and most,
holy.
yeah, I think most people think it's like Papa's got like a magic wand. He wants to save everybody. He's, boop. They don't realize it's how
No,
practical.
he was required to do
and
his
physical
own. Yeah.
It is, and the specific requirements, you know, with the picture of the David
Right.
anointing
And-
the
and
other side
people-
of the ark had to be.
You heard that they sent 6 people in to try to pull that out of there.
Yeah, and they died.
Right. Do you know why?
They weren't allowed to be in there yet. Papa
wasn't
said no.
time.
But do you know why?
Well, then, is there more?
Yeah, they would profane the ark.
Yeah.
Well, what's profaning the ark? Well, what's on the ark? What's on there? The blood is.
Blood.
What's the blood doing? It's speaking a better thing than that of
Right.
Abel. And the thing is, it's the throne of God in the earth. as in heaven, so on earth. We got something rocking. I mean, I say rocking, but we got something going on here. This is, to understand. That won't be messed with until that which restrains him is taken away.
Exactly.
And when that happens, we're talking, we're going to have hell revealed on this earth. And that's the great tribulation.
An important witness that is going to be an important witness.
Right.
That blood on the ark, so that has to be preserved until the time's
right. Must be.
Yeah, and then when the abomination of desolation is when the dude, the man of sin, sits on the throne and proclaims himself God.
Right.
Elohim.
So whatever he does to profane, because that's what the devil's always trying to get into the midst of something to profane it.
Yep.
That's
and the pagans knew that you profane stuff of papas by sacrificing a pig on the altar.
Right.
So I'm so thankful to run into you guys.
Yeah.
This have confirmation from someone else. I mean, we know that we've watched his stuff. We've learned from Michael Rood and Ron Wyatt and everything, and we try to tell our friends this, and they just don't. They just don't want to believe it because it's too crazy.
Yeah, I really wanted to get remember what you're going to say. I really wanted, like, while I was actually here, just like once in a lifetime, to actually get a feel for where specifically things were. And I didn't make the connection that he found the entrance to the tunnel at the very same spot.
It is.
So he was, like, when he came, it was like he excavated from about this level.
They started going down, just going down. And of course they came across this stuff.
So the Garden Tomb, I mean, this place wasn't here.
Like when he arrived.
No, the
Garden Tomb
it was probably up like this level?
The Garden Tomb, this area was here, but he, all this extra stuff was.
This was all garbage.
So he had to dig all the stuff out.
Yes.
Down.
Wow.
Yes, this was
80 something.
79, 80, when he first started digging, probably 80.
Right.
I didn't even start coming until 84, and I think I did come into the Garden Tomb area, but it didn't look anything like this. Yeah.
Okay.
Now this is nice compared to what
it was.
Yeah.
Well, from what I can tell, we're near the Muslim quarter, and everything that I can tell about how they live their life is trash.
That's it.
Just throw trash.
That's it.
So, like, you look out by the skull, and it's trash underneath it.
That's exactly.
So, if that totally makes sense, that this place was basically garbage.
Trash.
Well, yeah, go from up top and just.
Yeah.
But yeah, the video I saw, they came down by that little structure, and then they could just kind of pick their way across to it. Like, so that wall, and none of it was there, so I couldn't recognize the landmark.
Yeah.
But the gardener, she found the gardener, who brought us here.
Yeah.
And he knew.
He knows what's going on.
He knows what's going on.
At the same time, there's a guy here who's just totally, he's totally in unbelief, totally trashes Ron Wyatt. Totally, it's just, I couldn't believe it.
So here is.
And he was with a young Arab boy, and the Arab boy slipped into this place. He just starts yelling, screaming, freaking out.
Here.
Comes out, squeezing out through this hole, and he
Yeshua was on the
he left
cross.
the country, could never get back in the country.
And the
But
blood
Ron,
came
he
down
sees
here.
what's just happened. It's like, what's in there? So he crawls in there,
Came down
and he
to
collapses
there.
from having double
The
pneumonia.
Arcona
When he wakes
is
up,
in
he
there.
realizes he sees all the, you can imagine badger skins that have been rotted for thousands of years up. And so it's
Okay, Maggie, say that again. What is right there? The ark. I know it's right underneath here.
We built up a rope over here.
It's got really good.
So it's right there. It's where that crack is. That crack right there.
yeah, it's just where they come together there.
Wow. That's amazing. I'm coming. Or actually, come with me.
need to go to school? Or?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. So.
You know, the best thing, take God on your highest and best. Right? God shows you to go. He will pay for it. And it was like,
بس بعد الثمانية.
That's it. Hold Daddy's hand.
طيب يابا على راسي أحلى بعروق.
Okay, we go down. Let's go in.
so this is the King Solomon's quarries. It's also known as Zedekiah's cave.
Right.
And I'll just show you the.
And
It's just inside. Yeah. Here, let's take a look.
how much is it? It's not far.
It's to walk all the way down, stuff like that. It's a pretty neat deal. But that the area that's cordoned off, that's the area that it should be in.
Which area?
Oh, I was just saying that the area that is roped off is the area that
Yeah.
that it is. Yeah.
Can we go a little further? Just down to the rope?
No.
No? Oh, you have to pay.
It's a pain.
Okay. Well, we don't need to. Wow. Okay, see the rights
Yeah.
here?
Yeah. Masons.
Really?
But they're only interested in the connection to King Solomon. Is right why they
That
would
way.
Right.
come here, right?
Yeah.
They-
Yeah. But it's a cult.
Yeah.
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 Do they
My
know-
family. Huh?
Do they know the connection as well?
They, and they were trying to get it out on Israeli soil. That's the reasoning.
The reasoning that they died. So they were Israeli police that were dressed up as priests.
Israeli soldiers dressed as priests, and they probably had lineage for that,
And they went in to try to get the ark.
and they died. And so, from what I heard, is they had a sled, and Ron Wyatt would go in and put them on the sled, and then they would pull the rope to pull them out, and he'd push them out. There were 6 of them that died.
Wow.
But the thing is, we're talking salvation of the world here,
Right.
and that which makes it legal for God to
Right.
do what He does
Right.
is there set up, and it won't be changed
Right.
until that which restrains Him is taken away, and the abomination causes desolation.
Then
Yeah,
that's it.
spoken in of Daniel,
Right.
and that is.
Right.
I mean, this is real.
Wow. That's
Was it-
crazy.
Was it just details again? Was it Ron Wyatt that found the alternate route in, or was that already established?
I think he did. Once he found there's nobody else that's been able to actually get in there. So yeah, he must. Once he got in there, they must have found the system out.
Yeah.
Okay.